Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our employees management system. So as you can see, we have our employees list. Here we can add a new employee. We have all these details, employee number, the first name, gender, country. We have the employment date, the date of birth, the bank, the designation, and even you can attach the employee photo. Then you have the holidays. You can add a new holiday. You can add the holiday name, start date, end date, and even the description. Then you also have the leave adjustments. You can do a negative or positive leave adjustments. As you can see, it's actually tied to an employee. Then you also have leave balances. You can see you have the employees' leave balances. We also have the leave periods. You can create a new leave period. Can see you can specify the name, start date, end date, whether it's closed or locked. Then we have the leave applications. You can define the leave types, so you can add a leave type. So this is the code and this is the name. Then you can save. Then you also have leave applications. This is where you add a new leave application. You can add tied to employee, number of days, start date, end date, leave duration, leave type, attachment, and the notes. Then you also have approved leave applications. These are the leave applications that are approved. Then we also have rejected leave applications. As you can see, we have the rejected leave applications. And we have system security, where we have the system users. You can assign users to roles. You can edit. Then you also have the system roles. So this is where you create the role. If you add new, you provide the role name and you save. Then you also have system profiles. As you can see, you can add a new profile, provide the name, the profile ID, order number. Then you also have system audit. So this is the audit log. So every time we add a new entry, then the audit details are generated. Then we have the system administration. So we have approval entries for every record that is sent for approval. Then you're able to see the approval entries and who is supposed to approve. For example, like these records, you see we have the first, second, and the third approver and the approver names, and you can see the person who actually sent for approval. Then you also have approval user group, workflow user group. This is where you define the workflow matrix, the approval user groups. Then we also have approval user matrix. This is now where you tie the workflow user groups to the approvers. So there you go. Then you have the designations. You can create the designation. You can add new designation. You can also have departments. You can add departments. We have banks. You can add banks. You also have countries. You can add countries. Then you also have town or cities. You can add the town or cities. Then you also have system codes and system code details and the system settings. So what I want us to do, I want us today to begin with the bottom of the app. So this is the system code details. So from here, you can see you can actually add a new system code detail. For example, like employment status, the disability types, the leave approval status, leave duration. So I want us to start and make our application now appealing, deal with the UI things. So I want us to start with the system administration as we go along. So under the system settings, so system code details. So I'm going to system code details. Under index, you'll notice that we have the system code details list you can add. Then you're actually displaying the user created by ID. So here you can say created by. So this is created by, then you can take the full name of the person who created. So if you apply this, so if you apply that, come to system code details. So this one should give us the created by name. So the person who created. So just update. So let's just see. So if you go back to system code details, so you can see here it is not giving us the created by name. So what is the reason? So let's just go back to our system code details. So under system code details, under index, we should actually include, so here you can see we can say variable syst codes. So you can say is equals to, and you can actually have these as a weight. Then you can do here, so I'll do that. Then I can say here, so you can do here as well, dot include. So you can have s, so you say s dot created by, then so here then you can say to list async. So if we do that, then you can return here the system codes view. We can return that. So let me just zoom this so that you're able to see. So I usually like one dot per line rule. So if we do that and launch our app, we should be able to see those who created the system codes. So let's just launch and see. So for those who are watching this video for the first time or following this series and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like our video, comment down below, as we are going to enhance this application and complete all the features. So let's just wait and see. Let's just say, so our application is launching. There we go. So we provide our username and password. So I'll just provide my password. So if we log in, so it takes us now to the landing page. There we go to administration, then system codes. You can see it is now giving us the name, and we have the created by. So what I want us to do under this system code details, I want us to have this as an action point, whereby instead of having all these details aligned this way, or you can actually link this, so you can edit and you can delete the codes. But now I want us to go to our system codes, the same thing we did for modified by and created by. So we can actually do the same. So we can actually do away with the modified by and created and modified on for the system codes. So I'm going to do away with that. So I'll just do away with these two. Then we just, instead of created by, here we can say created by, then provide the full name. Then we can do away with the modified by here. Then what we need to now do is, let's go back to our controller system codes and under index. Then we should be able to say here variable system codes. So we can do this. So we can assign it here. Then here you can actually include, now we say dot include, then you can say x dot created by. So if we have created by, then that's cool. Then we have that is to list async, then you can return this. So that is it. So let's just relaunch. So for those who are watching this series and you're following our videos and you have not subscribed, consider subscribing, like our video, and comment down below on some of the features that you will want to see on this application. So, and if you need the source code, you can also claim the source code using the link below, so that you also help us to continue with this series. So there we go. So we have our, so let's go to system administration under system codes. So you can see now we have the code description, created by and created on. So another thing that I want us to do here is I want us to remove this. So I want us to add a section here to take us to the system code details. So if you go to index, so I want us to have this, but we have another button. Then here we can say, so I want us to say system code details. So want us to say here system code details. So I'll add, so let's just do this. So let's add another razor page under system codes, and we can call this system code details. So I'm going to add another razor page. Then you're going to call this system code details, or we can say code system code details. So let's just call system code detail. So this one is will look the same as index. So we are going to copy the index page and we can replace it here. But now there is one thing that we need to know. This one is going to return for us system code detail. See this one? Then here we'll say create, and you can actually have controller. So here we are going to take the controller for the system code detail. So I'm going to take this name and have it here. So whenever you just click create, it will take us to the system code details controller. Then this one will now have system code details list. Then we can actually take the system code details for the index page here. So I'll just do, so you can actually copy this. Let's just duplicate that and have it here. Then we'll be having now the code and the description. Then we have here, instead of saying here edit, so I think we had added it here. So let's just remove this. So for the system code details, we can also remove this. Then here, what we need to do is to specify the controller. So I'm going to rename, to copy the controller name. Then you can have it here. So I'm going to have it that way. So then I can duplicate this. So I can duplicate it here, I can duplicate it here. And also for the create, I can also add it. Then one thing that I want us now to do is, every time we are actually on our system codes here, we can navigate to the system code details. So I want us to take it to this razor page that we've just created. So this is it. Then we are going to take the ID. Then it should navigate us to the, so here we will say system codes. So you say system codes. Then once we do that, we should actually have this razor page. We should actually have that action in our system codes here. So we'll do this. So here we'll just copy that. So let's just duplicate this index. And we'll have this as the name of our action. But now here we are going to take the system code details. Here it is coming with an ID. So I'll just do ID. So this ID, we are going to say dot include. Here we are going to include the system code detail. System code, I mean. Then we say there. Then here after that we say dot where. We say x is equals to x dot system code ID is equals to that ID. So if we do that, so this one is equals to. So that is what we need. Then this one will return for us. So if we go to the launch our application, we should now be able to see the specific system codes for a specific code detail. So let's just launch and see what how that works. So for those who are watching this video and you have not subscribed, consider subscribing, like our video, and comment down below. So I'm going to open our app. So if I just sign in, so let's just launch it. So then if you go to system administration, system code details, this is okay. So what we need to check is under system codes. You see, we've added this option here for system code details. So I think we've actually displaced one of our view. So let's just go back to the index. So here we should add system code. So it'll say system code. So if I update, then we will have another. So you see this is displaced. So we should be able to see if it's gender, we should be able to see the specific gender codes from this action button. So you see this is now okay. So if I click system codes, it should take us and it should filter based on the specific codes. But now, which one have we filtered? Yeah, it's actually disability. For example, gender. If we click gender, you'll be able to see that it is giving us only the filter for gender. So it is already filtered. So if you go back to, we say leave duration, if we click leave duration, it takes us to the leave duration. So you should be able to see that. And from here, you can also add a new code. So that is how we want our app to navigate. So from the system code details, you can see all this. From here, you can also see the specific codes. And if we click add new, you see we have this and this. So there's something that we had done. I don't know if it's on the department. Let me just see, or it was under, let's see, banks. So I want us to arrange our app. So let's just see for the duration. So there's one area we had done styles. So let's just see for the town and cities. So let's just proceed and do the rest. So here we have the created on and modified on. But remember, these buttons looks more on these actions. So what we can do, we can actually have all these section giving us we can actually have all these. Remember, we were using admin LTE, and this is the admin LTE that we have been using. So I want us to borrow something from this particular form, whereby instead of having our buttons moving around or having these buttons all over, we can have it as a drop down. And how can you do that? So if you go back to admin LTE, we have these. So we have a way you can do that. For example, you see, so you can have these actions represented this way. So you can take this style. So let's just highlight. So you can take this style here and have it on our application. So you see, this is our app. So I'm going to edit this. Then we can take this particular style. So let me just copy. So I'll highlight and copy. So if you go back to our app, and we can specify if we add this here. So this will be actually a data table with all these information. So I'm going to close it. Table data. So if we format it, so you can see how it looks. So we now have TD and it's closed. Then we have all these actions. So what I want us to do is, instead of now having all those information here, I want us to replace these with our actions. So you see this. Then you can also have a separator. So I'll just do that. I can do this. Then all these button of ours. So I can take this and have it here as so I'll have it here. So I'll just do that and I can replace it there. I can also do the same for the edit. So I'll take this and I can replace it here. So I'll replace it here. Can do that. I can also do the same thing for details. I can do that here. So if I do that, then the last one is the delete button, which is this one. So if I do that and paste it here, then I can now remove all these other table data, and I can remove also this input. So this is my style, and this is it. So let's just see how this looks like. So if we relaunch our app, we can now reuse this. Instead of having buttons, you can have as many buttons now going down instead of filling in your form. Then you can use most of the columns to display the data. So let's just launch our app and see. So for those who are following this series, subscribe, like the video, and comment down below. So if we just sign in, and let's go back to our system code. Yeah, so there's something that is missing. So you see, it is actually trying to open our app, and it has actually opened it. So what we need to do, it is actually our style. So let's just see what is the issue. So here we can do away with this. Let's just do away with that. We have a drop down menu show. Yes. So let's update and see. So you should be having something like this, so that whenever you click, you're able to see it. But now we need to remove these headers. So I'm going to remove the headers and just call it actions. So I'm going to call it actions. So if I update it, you see, it is now looks better. So you see, that is how now our form looks like. So if we click actions, you see it is able to give us now the specific actions that we can do. So you can do system codes, and if you click it, then it takes us to the system codes. If we do the other one, view, you can also view that. So let's go back to our, we can do the same to the system code details. So here, I'm going to copy this table header, this one. Then I'll replace it with our system code details, this one. So if I just paste it here, then I can do away with these ones. Then here I can have that. Then here I can remove this because we don't want this. Then I can call these here actions. So you can actually do that to all the forms if you want to have this kind of thing. So then we can relaunch our app, and you'll be able to see that that is well taken care of. So let's just launch. So if we launch our app, we will be able to see that particular drop down actions, and we can always reuse them. So let's log in and see. So I'm going to open this. If I go to system codes, then system code details, then you can see, I can see my actions. So if I click here, you can see I'm able to see those particular actions. So you can do that for all the sections. So the next thing that I want us to do is, I want us to style this particular form here. So, and we should ensure that all our forms are styled. So that is what we are going to do on our next video, styling all this information. So we are trying to wrap up these applications so that we style everything, then we start doing exporting to Excels, and even trying to manage now user rights and profiles and everything. So if you're following this video, it's going now to get interesting. So keep in touch, and see you in our next video. Bye.